Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pikmin 2 for the final time, or for the final main episode at least. We are here at the bottom of the Dream Den, with the final boss just up ahead. I've returned with an unusual team of 50 yellows, well, 49, oh no, there we go, 50, nope, oi. Oh, my thing's still on the piss as well. This is going to be a great final boss, I can tell. Right, so I want to take the yellows and then leave the reds and the whites up here. Yellows go down. You'll notice I have an obscene amount of farts that I've gathered on the way down, which is pretty sweet. Prepare for an interesting boss, that's all I'll say.
Is that Louis, Mr. President? I have located Louis, resting atop a vast mound of treasure. For him to venture these depths alone, the desire of a man is a thing to be feared. The desire of man, even. But Louis is not moving. Could he have exhausted strength in reaching these depths? There may yet be time. Quickly, to Louis' aid.
So, introducing the Titan Dweevil, the final boss. And you'll notice the Titan Dweevil is armed with 4 different weapons. I can throw my Pikmin up and they'll attach those weapons and start using them. Weapon number 1 he's using here, the Shock Therapist, throws these balls around and then they electrocute. This is one of the main reasons why I've bought yellows, because as I've said before, electricity is the worst threat. This is the Monster Pump, so this launches water around the arena. What matters with this is this can drown Pikmin anywhere. The Monster Pump is probably the single most dangerous one because no one is safe. All the other ones only hit the arena here directly. So you'll notice all of my effort at the moment is going on attacking the Monster Pump. Once again, he's using the Shock Therapist, and that's great. It's pretty unlikely for shocks from the Shock Therapist to go outside of the arena. He'll pick them one by one. As you can see, you damage them enough and they will fall off. Oh shit, I burped him. Okay. Burping him does buy you time, but doesn't do anything. You can't actually damage the weapons while he's burped, and he'll just throw them off. Alright, he's using the Monster Pump again. The more damage you do to a weapon, the more frequently he'll use it and the more dangerous it gets. You can see that, right, so I'm just whistling constantly. These guys are in a bit of a bad way, but you can all... Oh, I think we lost quite a lot there. Yep, that's not ideal. Right, I need to get that Monster Pump off now. That's basically the only part of this which is dangerous from there. Basically, oh, here we go. He's using the flare cannon, so that just jets fire around again. Quite easy to dodge, and once again, fire is whistled off. The issues that we have here is basically the Monster Pump is really hard to dodge because it can hit anywhere. Oh, here we go. He's using the final one, the Comedy Bomb. Well, fortunately, while these Pikmin on it are brilliant, we've broken the Monster Pump off. Right, this now has got much, much easier. So, what this means is our Pikmin now, which are outside of the arena, are safe. And technically our Pikmin inside the arena are relatively safe as well. So, you want to get rid of the Monster Pump as soon as possible, because that can hit anyone, anywhere. But it's not worth bringing blues down here for. We've clearly done quite a lot of damage to the Shock Therapist, because he's throwing out extra nodes with it now. You'll notice when they electrify, you may have seen it earlier there, that can still stun your captain. He's using the Comedy Bomb again, which means stand back, and it does this kind of shape like that. You can dodge it even within the arena, but it's relatively straightforward to dodge. Straightforward of dodgingness versus ease of getting rid is my main priority kind of here. The main reason I'm now trying to get rid of the Shock Therapist is just because then it means I can bring my other Pikmin in to bear. At the moment, I'm restricted to yellow just because the Shock Therapist, like that, would have killed anyone who wasn't a yellow instantly. And that's how you know the Shock Therapist is damaged as well, because there it actually electrified the shots before they even got fired out. But he's using the Shock Therapist a lot, which is pretty good. Yeah, yellows basically are your absolute friend here. The other advantage of yellows that you're seeing here is yellows can be thrown high. It's very easy to attack the weapons. Oh, shit. Their flare cannon. It's very easy to attack the weapons with a large body of, especially farted, yellows. And it makes everything so much easier. Look at his shadow if you want to be sure of where to aim to target a certain weapon. Brilliant, we've broken the Shock Therapist off. Right, I'm going to try and get some of these actually... Oh, fuck! And I am stunned, which reduces my capacity to whistle. That's what I was saying. Basically, even if your captain doesn't take damage from them, your captain can quite easily be stunned. Wake up, man! By... Okay, we lost a fair few there. I'm going to move this out the way, because it's been a bit of a problem. I can now, at least, safely start bringing some of my other Pikmin in. So I'm going to literally just move this up here. Then I want to split these guys out, keep the whites up here with the president for now. Don't want to bother actually collecting that all the way. Yes, they are actually treasures, turns out. Now, that the shock therapist is down, we can at least bring our reds to bear as well. I actually want to primarily still use yellows. Oh, of course he's using the comedy bomb now. But my next target is going to be the flare cannon. The flare cannon takes a lot of damage to take it down, but obviously now the reds are immune to it, which isn't amazingly helpful. But reds also just output a lot more damage, especially when farted. The flare cannon is relatively easy to hit because it's a bit lower down on his side there. And I'm going to still primarily kind of throw, well, whoever we got it. Let's pull him back. He's got a blind spot behind him here, kind of. It's in there is your blind spot from, as in relative to the side of the Dweevil it's on. You have got a blind spot for the flare cannon there, which is significant. We must have done a fair bit of damage to it, because he's using it again there. As I say, how much he uses a weapon is proportional to how much damage it's taken, basically. When you're close to knocking a weapon off, not only will its attack patterns change, but it'll also use it all the time. Now we're seeing, unfortunately, one of the slight issues with the fucking Dweevil. I'm going to let those burn a little bit, because we had got some guys on the flare cannon. Your chance to attack is incredibly minimal here. You got to throw something on straight away. At least he's using the comedy bomb, which means if we get guys up on the flare cannon, the issue is there, you accidentally whistle people off. Stand up. You accidentally whistle your attackers off while you are trying to whistle them off being hit. Right, I'll let that happen. And then I want to be ready right away to target the flare cannon. We're not going to have a huge amount of time because we don't have huge amounts of time at the moment here generally. You'll notice there, my reds actually barely hit the weapons. He's fortunately stunned a little bit there, which gives us time. Cool, right, let's move out of the way. And my fart has run out, so I'm going to go over here and re-fart everyone. Oh, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. As I say, the stunning of the captain is irritating because it means it makes it much harder to quickly get your shit together. Okay, we lost some Pikmin there by the sounds of it, but we haven't lost a huge number already. That's pretty good. Here is the blind spot. Let's rush them onto that there. Nope, turns out they can't attack it that way. Cool. Well, let's just be ready to throw them up onto it. Right. That should soon detach the flare cannon. Unfortunately, this is where this boss does fall apart a little bit. As you can see, it's slow. I've always said in the past I don't like cutting during boss fights, and that is true. Sometimes during the Titan Dweevil, I'm concerned I won't even have an option then to cut because it's just... There we go. Cool, we've detached the flare cannon. Right, let's see if I can bring the flare cannon out of the way as well before he fires up the comedy bomb. Yep, cool. It gets more difficult having these things in the way. Right, let's bring the whites down now because now they're not going to die so much as well. You can just use the one colour of Pikmin that will actually... you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to use yellows because the yellows are so much better at actually being thrown. A lot of people advocate using entirely yellows here. I bring some reds and some whites, partly because you sometimes need them to actually make it through the dungeons, especially to levels that have plugs at the end. And it is just useful to sometimes have a bit of a mix, but actually come to think of it, the yellow's advantage of being thrown high, very little elemental immunity actually really trumps that. I've got a lot of farts, you know, so I'm keeping them essentially constantly farted, but as you'll notice here, like, the time between attacks where you can actually reasonably do damage to the Dweevil's weapons get shorter and shorter, infuriatingly so, which is an irritant, I must say. There, at least we've got a decent amount of damage on it, and I'm just basically keeping an eye out now for... okay, well, I'm just going to get out of the way here so I can be ready to move in as soon as it does. Is he damaged yet? No, he's not. It does a slightly different pattern if he is. Okay, he's actually moving around a bit now, which is good. Basically, we can just get some yellows stuck up there. They can do a decent amount of damage to it, even there. Right, let's see what he's doing. Oh, I think we've got... Yeah, so he kind of sweeps one way and then back again. That's how you know the comedy bomb has at least taken a significant amount of damage. Okay, there we go. Right. So he goes... well, there it's doing it with... Oh, that's seriously damage, because if it's doing it with 5 points instead of the usual 4, that's pretty good. We've only lost like 20 Pikmin, actually. We're doing pretty well on him, but by and large, the Titan Dweevil is not a hard boss. He's just an irritating boss. He's probably the weakest single boss in the game, which is a bit of a shame that he's the final boss. Let's pull everyone back as far away as we can get. I like the music and the fact that it goes different depending on what weapon he's using. There's cool bits of design, and the design on him is cool. Like the idea that he has these like modular weapons, but fuck, see that's the thing. They can only just dodge one thing, and he's already throwing the next one. You gotta get in close and then just... Oh, no, shit! Oh, that was bad. Get up, Olimar. Olimar, get up. You need to get up now. There we go. Fucking Christ. Right, let's get a few more on him now. We're lowish on farts, but there's a good chance. There we go. So, Now we fight the final form of the Titan Dweevil. It's incredibly easy. He actually can't damage you or your Pikmin at this point. You just got to throw as many Pikmin as you can up onto his bulbous body, and he fights like a shit version of BD Longlegs or something like that. This is another one that can take a surprisingly long amount of time. Can we kill him burped? Yeah, let's do a bit of damage to him burped, why not? It's just, they give him a lot of health in this form, which is bizarre to say that he can't actually do any damage. So this is really just... Especially because at this point, his ability to get rid of your Pikmin has largely gone, because his weapons have gone. But the irritating thing is that you can... I've been at this form before where I've had about 10 Pikmin left, and as such, this form has taken fucking forever. Because you just can't deal in damage to him fast enough, but also it just doesn't end, it keeps on going. But we've just about got him. That was actually a pretty painless run, if all things considered. There we go. There goes the Titan Dweevil.
Louis, are your life functions fading? No, he appears to only have fainted. He is always running into trouble. Instruct the Pikmin to carry him. There is not enough room for him in the cockpit anymore. We will have to keep him in the cargo hold with the treasure hoard.
So, yes, that is the Titan Dweevil. One of the... whistling Louis to me there, idiot. One of the things that can be irritating with it is, yeah, as you can imagine, purple Pikmin are completely useless there. They're not immune to anything, and they can't be thrown high enough to damage his weapons, so it's really irritating. I farted everyone here just to actually make the carrying back here a little bit faster. But yeah, that's the frustrating thing, but you need really 20 of each Pikmin group is one of the best ways of actually getting down here safely. So that's why I sometimes do that thing of, it only took me, 5 minutes, and I only lost 3 Pikmin coming back down from the surface, as long as you're careful, so it's worth it. Anyway, his weapons are all individual treasures, and here we go. Fire up the visualizer for one last time as we collect the final 5 treasures of the game. First off, the poison weapon, the comedy bomb for 1,000 Pocos. Where did the Pikmin who were carrying that? Why are they down there? They didn't go down there, and you know it, game. Up next, also for 1,000 Pocos, the Shock Therapist. Though I think that might actually be the arc bulb from a Xenon projector, it looks more like to me, than actually like an electroconvulsive therapy machine. Let's get these ones moving, finally. This one, I'm glad he did use every weapon, we've got to have a look at them as well. This one, the most dangerous one, say it's the whole bloody arena, for 1,000 Pocos, the Monster Pump. Oh, spat on the mic there. And then, finally, for a little camping stove for £1,000 again, the Flare Cannon. And of course, there's one more treasure. Who could forget? Because he needs to go in the hold as well. Because if you look at the visualizer, you will see there is still one final slot in the bottom right. The 201st treasure is the man himself. For 10 Pocos, a measly 10, the King of Bugs. And with that, the treasurometer fades for one final time, and we are done with the main stuff in Pikmin 2. Don't worry, there's still more to do, but I won't be doing it right away. I'll talk about that in just a second. Let's return to the surface with our treasure. Another thing is, yeah, because I swapped around the teams in between. This is still that same day that we started the Hall of Heroes on. We got about 6 seconds left in it, but we got a lot of decent stuff there. That's great. We've only spent 2 days in the Wistful Wild. We had one day where we gathered stuff on the surface and did the Cavern of Chaos, and then another day where we gathered the rest of the stuff, did the Hall of Heroes, and did the Dream Den. It's been like 10 episodes, at least, but it's only been weirdly 2 in-game days here. Very strange. As you can see, yes, it's about to be nighttime here, but that actually doesn't matter, because upon returning, there's nothing more to do. Oh, God, it had 6 seconds left, but hey, there we go! You've collected every treasure! Go me. And so there's no dialogue or anything in this final cutscene, but also we've already had the credits. We had it when we cleared the dead, and there are no more end credits. So this is when I'm going to reflect briefly. There's more to come. I will be doing at least 2 bonus episodes worth of just reading. Then at some point there will be challenge mode, both the single player and the co-op mode. That has been delayed indefinitely. I was going to do the co-op and the battle with the stag, my brother, but we can't see each other at the moment due to COVID-19 restrictions. So that has been put on hold, and I will put challenge mode on hold with it as well, like the single-player stuff. But we have the sales pitches to read, and we have another additional bit of reading that we unlocked to do, neither of which I'm going to do tonight because it's late and I have work in the morning. So that's what's kind of coming next. There will be those 2 bonus episodes immediately. Then people should have been able to guess from some of the musical hints I've been dropping what my next project is, and I've actually overtly said in the past I was going to do it anyway if certain conditions were met, which they were. So that will be coming next. I'll drop a trailer after this, just to be sure. Finally, my thoughts on Pikmin 2. Much better than Pikmin 1. It's a very good sequel. It really takes the Pikmin mechanic and takes it to a really good place. The only issue is as it goes on, it then takes it to a bad place. It's really good. Like, the cave mechanic is nice to have, being free from time stress side of things. I really like the treasures thing of again, you kind of alleviate the time stress, and they're funny. Like, the treasures, gathering them is entertaining. There we go, Pikmin 2. Gathering your treasures is entertaining. There is a lot of it. I like how they kept the same Pikmin but then added whites and purples. I just wish, the end of the game, it gets hard and kind of grueling. It doesn't work amazingly well for a Let's Play, and the final boss can be a bit slow. I don't like how there's no power-ups once you get to the Wistful Wild. It's all just Pocos, which is all, like, yes, there's some really valuable treasures, but it's also all kind of meaningless when you've already cleared the debt. It doesn't matter what the values are. Being able to get the Doomsday Apparatus, for example, early on would be fantastic. So yes, concept, fantastically well done. I really like the Piclopedia and the treasure and stuff like that. Execution falters a bit towards the end, but otherwise, still a great game. As for Pikmin 3, never played it, seen it watched through, but didn't leave a single Pikmin behind, yes. But Pikmin 3 has just been, or will be by the time this video's out, it's been remastered by Nintendo for the Switch. And Pikmin 3, it deals with a lot of these problems well as well. Like, it's a good game to follow this one as well. Never played it, might do it at some point, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know if you liked it in the comments, and we're going to finish for one final time with some reading from the treasure hoard, because we've got like 3 days worth of treasures to read from. Well, 1 day's worth of treasures specifically, but over we go. Well, firstly, we're going to be informed about the sales pitches, because we've got the Succulent series, plunge into the juicy world of alien creatures. We've got every series now, since we've got every treasure. The Nature's Candy series, avant-garde veggies for the modern gourmet. The Xenoflora series, botanists will fog their spectacles over these wonders. The Paleontology series, who knows what these beasts left behind. The Ancient Secret series, this old junk will make romantics weep with joy. The Tortured Artist series, everyone's inner artist will crave this set. The Space Love series, these designs transcend intergalactic cultural barriers. The Crystallized Emotion series, with a flashy name you can sell anything. The Dream series, consumers hear the word dream and open their wallets. The Blast from the Past series, my nostalgic pitch will transform these oldies into hits. The Massive Receptacle series, Hoggetations can practically live in these. The Ancient Ad series, these persuasive logos are amazing attention grabbers. And finally, the Titan Dweevil series, entomologists and film directors will buy them by the whole load. So yes, we have now got the sales pitches unlocked for everything, and that will be one of the 2 bonus episodes of this. The other one will be some extra stuff in the Piclopedia. So let's start from the top. The Seed of Greed. The Wistful Wild is an especially vicious region. The creatures there have had to battle hard to survive in this unforgiving landscape. That's probably why they've evolved such an ill temper. For instance, this plant's berries suck the nutrition from the surrounding flora. The Disguised Delicacy. The fruit on this planet is astonishingly large. We could cultivate these ample fruits on Hoggetate and nobody would ever go hungry again. Sadly, I don't know anything about agriculture. Maybe I should have listened to my wife when she told me to do yard work. Foreshadowing Pikmin 3. The Insect Condo. Not the yard work with the wife stuff, the fruit stuff. This sumptuous nugget may look delicious, but internal scans indicate a parasitic infection. The ship can't stand to even look at these pests, let alone store them. But I had to put my foot down on this one. The Anti-Hiccup Fungus. What a shocking taste. I suppose young people like Louis might find it tasty, but the flavour is too intense for me. The Armoured Nut. I've never tasted a nut quite like this. It's difficult to explain, but it tastes like sorrow. P.S. I can't shake the feeling that I've been here before. Aha! This must be the exact spot where I crash landed last time, and indeed it was the precise spot. It's quite cool. The corpulent nut. This rotund nut reminds me of the president's sizable girth. What a fucker. The possessed squash. All the plants in this region have interesting characteristics, like this freakish one, for example. Lately I've started the habit of tasting new discoveries. It may be dangerous to eat unfamiliar plants, but I've only gotten violently sick a few times. The future orb. According to my analysis, this advanced contraption can reflect the future of those that peer into it. However, when the president looked into it, he saw total darkness. He said it must have been broken, but I'm not so sure. That's fucking dark. The lustrous element. This rare alien metal object doesn't exist on an alien metal even, doesn't exist on Hocotate. When I gaze at it, I'm gripped with an overpowering sense of greed. On Hocotate, there is a valuable metal with a stunning sheen that has a similar effect. Perhaps this alluring metal is responsible for many of this planet's woes. Well, if you think of it as capital rather than gold, probably yes. The mirrored element. Talking to the boss makes me crave the power to order people around. He just sits on his haunch all day, barking wildly irrational requests. Ugh, when will it be my turn to be the boss? The manual honer. The size of this construction rig is astonishing. It could build an entire house in minutes. The strangest part is that I don't see any electrical plug on it anyway. Surely you don't have to power it manually. The implement of toil. When I've worked so hard, I think I could use some rest and relaxation. However, looking at all the valuable treasures we've collected, I think we'll make a huge fortune. Then I can hire an army of butlers to attend to my every whim. We've got most of these, excellent. Here we go, the essence of true love. That's peculiar. When I gaze at this stone, all of my stress seems to wash away. I'm suddenly not so annoyed with my irrational boss and underappreciated underlings. I'm not even annoyed with the tight-fisted corporation I slave each and every day for. The essence of desire. We travelled across the universes to this planet, pursuing the dream of great discoveries. I found a cavern that symbolises the goal of our grand expedition, so I've named it the Dream Den. I like that in these sales pitches he also explains why areas and caves have the names they do. It's quite cool. We found this treasure in a cave teeming with merciless creatures, but we did find this gorgeous jewel, so it wasn't all bad. Update, it turns out that it's just plastic. So it was all bad after all. The Universal Com. From the shape of it, I've concluded that this is some kind of data transmission monitor. However, Louis and the ship keep telling me I'm way off target. I told them, if I'm so wrong, what do you think it is? I don't see you suggesting any alternatives. They're just being negative. I'm going with my gut feeling on this one. The Love Sphere. According to the ship's scanners, this inanimate object has the capacity to love. Unfortunately, my love is already spoken for. Although... This freaky thing, the Extreme Perspirator. What an odd doll. I can't stop squeezing it. I've decided to market this back home as an exercise apparatus. People could work up a good sweat with this thing. The boss is fairly plump. I'll suggest he use it. The Boss Stone, speaking of which. My long journey has led me to this compelling stone. During my quest, I've narrowly escaped being crushed, chewed, ingested, and scorched countless times. But I somehow persevered, and this stone reminds me of that. It's like it has its own personality of its own. Whoops. I'd like to take it back with me and place it in my garden to commemorate this expedition. The Talisman of Life. Explorer's strife, but fate decides. You can prepare and practice for an expedition, but there's only so much a person can do. Sometimes you just have to put your life in fate's hands. I've come to understand this intergalactic truth while I've travelled to the farthest reaches of the universe. Fate and I are pretty close. The Remembered Old Buddy. I can't believe the fortune to find this thing buried underground. It looks like a component of a huge mechanical doll. It looks like a part from a robot cartoon I used to watch as a kid. How nostalgic. This futuristic machine makes me feel like I've travelled back in time. The Fond Gyro Block. Since I landed on this planet, I've encountered countless treasures that remind me of my childhood. I wonder why that is. I think it's because the objects we're discovering look just like things I had as a kid. This is one of those items. The other day, I accidentally threw away my son's favourite toy. He would not stop crying. Some things that seem unimportant to adults are treasures to kids. When I was a boy, I'm sure I felt the same way about some of my favourite things. Now, my family is my treasure. When I observe this object, I can't stop myself from tearing up. I wonder why. It's hard to say, but it might be because some of these items remind me of the past. Getting a bit repetitive now, Lamar. When I was a kid, I always wanted my toys to be blue. Blue is such a cool colour. Yesterday, we ventured into a spooky hole. Previously, all of the organisms we encountered were massed together in one cave. Had I not divided the Pikmin by colour and utilised their unique abilities, I would never have made it out alive. In memory of my daring adventure, I've named that hole the Hole of Heroes. The Patience Tester. In a man's heart, good and bad coexist. This conflict has made the mind of mankind a complicated thing. It has brought us war, but also culture and civilization. And here I stand worrying. Should I open the container in front of me and try eating the contents, or should I stand firm? The Endless Repository. Everyone makes mistakes. Sometimes desire overpowers reason. At least that's what I told myself when I sampled this salty snack. The stringent container. Yesterday, the ship accused me of sampling all the food we've been collecting. That ship has a lot of nerve. You've openly admitted to doing it! The yellow taste tyrant. According to the recent statistics, elderly people on Hocketate love to eat sweets. Despite them, young people are all eating all the spicy food they can get their hands on. Just looking at this artifact makes my mouth feel spicy. When I bring it back, it's sure to be all the rage with the surly teens everywhere. Tonight, I think I'll practice signing autographs. The alien billboard. There are several different patterns drawn on this object's surface. They appear to be characters or letters, but I can't make any sense of them. This is just an educated guess, but I wonder if this object is some kind of alien bulletin board. The size of the object seems about right for it. And finally, the parts of the Titan Dweevil. The Shock Therapist. This shock was one of several weapons wielded by the nightmarish Titan Dweevil. It allowed the creature to smite Pikmin with zaps of lightning. And the Flare Cannon. This scorching mechanism was once used by a monstrous Titan Dweevil. The roasting apparatus spews hot jets of flame. I can't keep Louis away from it. He keeps trying to use it to cook sausages and caramelize creme brulee. The Comedy Bomb. Although it was once a primitive chemical weapon, it is now a weapon of mass hilarity. Yes, that explained in the sales pitch that the ship fills it up with laughing gas instead. The Monster Pump. This pump is capable of spraying jets of hyper-pressurized water. And finally, the King of Bugs. Louis is back! Somehow he sided a horrific ordeal with a freakishly large, weapon-wielding Titan Dweevil. I encountered a hole with an army of ferocious Pikmin, grimly determined to save Louis from the Titan Dweevil. But it seems that he was perfectly fine all along. I can't understand how he managed to avoid being eaten. He's always had an unusually close connection with insects, and I know he loves to cook them. Maybe he wasn't kidnapped after all. Could he have been controlling that beast all along? No, that's craziness! Although, he does insist now that we address him by his proper title, the King of Bugs. What a freak. Anyway, the final few bits in the Piclopedia are, I think there's just two. I mean, there's the default candy pop buds and various plants, but I don't count those. Well, the candy pop buds also aren't technically plants, they're actually a species of Pikmin. It's bizarre. But yes, the Raging Longlegs. Pseudoarachnica furidensis, arachnid family. Arachnids boast a wonderful biological composition with a silicon-based exoskeleton and innards coated with malleable heavy metals. However, much of these creatures remains a mystery, as specimens regularly explode when they are dissected. These explosions produce scorching flames that completely melt all the internal organs, leaving us with a disappointing lack of information on the inner workings of the species. We must await the development of a new dissection processes and more specialized research before we can better understand this enigmatic creature. However, the following observation notes have been recorded. Appears to be leveling terrain for some unknown purpose. Location of eyes and ears not readily apparent. Freezing a specimen may yield new research opportunities. And the final boss, the Titan Dweevil. Mandarectia gargantium. Dweevil family. The largest member of the Dweevil family, this fearsome predator carries protective components that frequently exhibit offensive capabilities, an evolution that may be attributed to mere chance. Another evolutionary theory is that the chemical contents of the containers carried by Titan Dweevils contribute to possible gene splicing. That doesn't really make any sense. While other Dweevils do not seem to choose the object they carry, the Titan Dweevil appears to prefer shiny objects above all else. As a little hint of what's coming in the bonus episodes, note, in the bottom left, Louis' notes. If we were to pick the red billboard, for example, and go on Louis' notes, plump specimens are best roasted whole, stuffed with a lime and a slab of bacon, basted frequently to ensure a magnificently moist haunch. Yes, that's one of the bonus episodes. Certainly will be the other bonus episode will be Louis' tasting notes. And on that note, we will leave it. So thank you very much for watching. This has been the main series of Pikmin 2. If you enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts, and we'll have a bit of a chat in the in the comments about it. So thank you very much for all being part of this. And here is a little trailer for what's coming next. Time for in so many ways, a blast from the past. Thank you very much, and good day.